In the world of a young mind, sometimes fact becomes fancy. Fancy fact. And even the wisest may not distinguish one concept from another. Such is the dilemma.
Long before the first Christmas, pagans celebrated the winter solstice. In late December, the northern hemisphere tilts its furthest distance from the sun, which causes the year's shortest day and longest night. Europeans celebrated with dancing, theater, fires, wine, mischief, and by briefly overthrowing the ruling class. Until the 1600s, the English church strived to funnel the festival's sinful enthusiasm into the safety of the chapel. The Bible didn't specify a date, so the church got to say that the final day of the solstice celebration, the 25th, was Jesus Christ's birthday. Nowadays, historians debate the precise date, but can agree that Jesus would have been born in the spring between 4 and 7 BC. Although the church failed to compete with existing traditions, which eventually gave way to the Puritans' ban of celebrating the decadent holiday in 1644. For nearly 200 years, Christmas celebrations went underground, even lying dormant in the U.S. for 50 years until the Industrial Revolution saw the rise of winter riots coupled with the creation of a class of the urban disenfranchised and unemployed. This began a re-evaluation of the prospects of Christmas. In 1829, an Episcopal priest anonymously published the poem A Visit from St. Nick, which served as the foundation for the American Santa. Ashamed of his secular Christmas fable, Clement Clark Moore didn't take credit until 1837. St. Nick is comprised of two European icons of winter celebration. Odin, the one-eyed Norse god, travels through the sky with a spear on an 8-legged horse at the close of the Germanic Yule holiday. 8 reindeer replaced 8 legs and a missing eye replaced by winks. Nick is short for Nicholas, in reference to the Bishop of Myra from 270 AD. From a Byzantine Turkey, St. Nicholas performed altruistic miracles that helped appoint him the patron saint of children, sailors, merchants, and pawnbrokers. Countries across Europe celebrate St. Nicholas Day by reenacting stories of his miracles on the anniversary of his death, December 6th. Due to the success of A Visit from St. Nick, advertisers demanded a face. Illustrators obsessed over the image in Moore's poem for 40 years, until Thomas Nast made an official Santa Claus in 1863. Robin Hood, not a robber baron, Nast applied the luxuriously plump caricature of a tycoon to the jolly, altruistic qualities of Moore's St. Nick. Sort of similar to Scrooge after he's transformed by the spirit of Christmas in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Dickens' success was based on the fast-acting, quick-absorbing moral of the story, and by inspiring a Christmas revival among the Victorians, who found it to be glamorous. In the next 60 years, the Netherlands' beloved Sinterklaas moves to New York City, where he changes his name to Santa Claus and lands a huge advertising deal. In 1931, Coca-Cola released the iconic and permanent Santa Claus. 33 years of Santa Claus illustrations would somehow sell a cold, refreshing beverage every winter. Swarms of red and white Santas flooded malls, inhabiting elaborate thrones. It was only a matter of time until he came through the TV as Caucasian clay. 1970's Santa Claus Is Coming to Town secured the myth by burying its origins under another Moses story.
See what it says.
Santa Claus provided a way for both children and parents to pretend that Christmas presents were not in the realm of the commercial marketplace, that Christmas presents existed in the realm of pure domestic affection.
Distribution of power had shifted. Industrial technology fueled media technology, increasing the range and effect of its means. In centuries past, families operated as strict educators based in rigid traditions, as a guild. Each child was a new apprentice to be trained. 2 world wars bloated the state's power to the role of disciplinarian by expanding the education, judicial, and military institutions. Parents were reduced from guild leaders to mere veterans of the status quo, offering insight and emotional support for newcomers. Santa Claus has been misrepresented as a symbol of altruism to manipulate the working class to feed directly back into the carburetor of the industrial machine. The myth trains kids to respond to ads early in life because there's a seemingly effortless reward attached. Commercials drown kids in images of plastic and sugar until their brains explode with commercial desires. Conveniently, elaborate Santa Claus spectacles are already at the mall, where kids tell Santa which plastic object they've chosen from TV. And companies roll out super sales to seem like they're in a giving spirit. American Christmas relies on kids' desire for plastic. Santa blurs the relationship between love and the coordinating of commercial goods. Catalogs, coupons, and commercials are dripping with holly and sleigh bells. Paternal love can now be quantified by the cost and accuracy of gift choices. Parents respond biologically with a paranoid consumerism. As Santa masks the role of the market, the only thing standing between kids and their shiny spinning plastic is working a reward system based on a scale of naughty to nice. He enforces this with a mysterious omnipresence and a list with every kid's name on it. Santa's relentless image establishes a conditioned response of self-evaluation. When you aren't caught by your parents or the police, Santa will know and he'll write it down.
We were happy here. Meg loved me, trusted me, did everything I asked. And then he came.
This sets a routine, like a dinner bell. Warm memories of our youth, the satisfaction of getting what we wanted, the bliss of the holiday spirit. So the hoax is perpetuated long after we discover Santa doesn't exist, since we persist to attach his image not to mass production and social discipline, but to altruism and the nostalgic illusion of unity. From this, it becomes much more than a myth. We relate to the pervasive joy Santa brings. Smiling, hopeful children frolic through catalogs, thumb through the aisles, as parents embrace these familiar feelings and internalize the experience. Internalization leads parents to gauge financial success on an ability to fulfill their kids' commercial desires. Spoiling is luxurious and distasteful, except on one day. This isn't the problem, it's a symptom. The problem is the asserted visibility of invisible mechanisms at work.
Christmas presents were not in the realm of the commercial marketplace. That Christmas presents existed in the realm of pure domestic affection.
Surveillance is not the issue, it's a strategy. The nature of the panopticon is to be visible and invisible, or in other words, dressed like Santa and acting as a moral watchdog. Santa hosts the celebration of a well-coordinated spoof of a solstice celebration. Despite the jumbled meaning, traditions perpetuate myths to achieve the safety and simplicity of conditioned responses. The need to belong takes precedent over the need to believe.